What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Scholars Baseball channel, and today I have three players that you may want to hit the panic button on or may not want to hit the panic button on. So kicking off the list, we have Steven Strasburg. Now, Steven Strasburg is just an extremely talented pitcher. He was a top prospect when he was first coming up. He had so much hype around him, and I will never question his ability to be a very good pitcher. He has absolutely fantastic stuff. When the Nationals won the World Series, he was just one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And in that postseason, he was just phenomenal. And he has a career ERA of 3.21. So we know he is a very, very good pitcher. He's also a strikeout machine. He will get a ton of strikeouts. My main concern with Steven Strasburg, though, is will he stay healthy? That is the biggest question. He's been hurt since April 18th. It looks like he's going to be reevaluated today, and we'll see if he pitches this weekend. But he has just been on and off with injuries. If you look at the past year and a half, really after that World Series, we looked at Steven Strasburg and we're like, he just had so many injuries. He had like shoulder inflammation and just other shoulder problems that just is not good, obviously, for a pitcher. So what do you do with Steven Strasburg? Well, I say you just keep him on your team because he's just too talented to just cut unless you really do not have the roster space at all and your pitchers are pretty solid this season. Because the big question is with him is like, will he come back? Will he, pitch a normal amount of innings? Will he stay healthy? Because if he does stay healthy, I think he'll be a very, very good pitcher. He's on a solid team. He should get plenty of wins and plenty of strikeouts. But if you just don't have the space to hang out to him, maybe you consider dropping him. I would not drop him. If you have an IL spot, keep him on your IL spot. He's a guy that you should have on your IL spot. That don't worry about him taking up space on your IL spot because he's just very good. But the question is, will he be back? And how much did you invest to get Steven Strasburg? Was it a big trade? And then you kind of like panicking on that. You're like, oh gosh, I gave up a lot to get Strasburg, or it was a higher draft pick. But right now, just keep him on your IL spot. If you absolutely do not have the roster space on him, I would be panicking. I would be like, okay, do we drop him? What do you do? There are other good pitchers out there that I could potentially get. I would look at that for like shallow leagues, but like if you're in a 12 plus team league, I would definitely hang on to Steven Strasburg. He's just too talented. If you're looking to go acquire him, you can make a trade for him. I know some people were saying that he was actually on the waiver wire, which I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. I actually would not use a waiver wire pickup to get Steven Strasburg just because he's been hurt for like 2 seasons, really. I guess last year was shorter, but he's been banged up so much where I want to see him perform for multiple weeks. So I would kind of not use your waiver pickup and just see if he's available after the waiver wire and then definitely go scoop him up. Because I don't think it's time to panic on him quite yet unless you invested a lot to get Steven Strasburg because he needs to stay healthy. But he's talented. I wouldn't worry about him too much. Up next, we have Ozzie Albies. Now, Ozzie Albies is a very promising player. He's only 24 years old, and he has got power to hit 20 plus home runs. He should steal around 15 plus bases, and he just has not put it together so far this season. But what I really like about him is he's only striking out 18% of the time. So that's about, where you expect him to be. And as long as he doesn't get to like over 20%, then I would be like freaking out. So I would not panic on Ozzie Albies right now because he has potential to be a very, very good second baseman. He was ranked as like the number one second baseman in the preseason, and I still see him being close to the top towards the end of the year and at the end of the year because once the weather heats up, he's going to be fantastic. He's on a great team. He's going to be able to put it together. He's going to give you some power. He's going to give you some stolen bases. He should hit around 270. I wouldn't, see anything too much above that. I don't think he's really a 300 hitter, but he's a very well-rounded hitter, and I would not panic on Ozzie Albies quite yet. Lucas Giolito is the last guy I want to talk about. Now, he looked really good last night. He struck out 11 hitters, and he went 8 innings, so that looked really good. Overall, this year has been a struggle for him. He has an ERA of 4.35, and that's including last night's performance. And I would not panic on Lucas Giolito. I know a lot of people are freaking out because it's like, he's supposed to be this ace. He's supposed to be one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And I just would not freak out. I would actually target Lucas Giolito if you're looking to trade for him because people may be panicking. And he's on a great team. He's got great stuff. He's got, strikeout numbers that are just like really good. So his K per nine this season is over 11. So that's something you really love to see, and he's going to get plenty of wins on the White Sox. It's really interesting that he's struggling like this right now because the White Sox are just a phenomenal team. So he will bounce back, and he will be a very good pitcher by the end of the year. So I would not panic on Lucas Giolito. Do not trade him right now, but I would look to make a trade for him. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.